I had to do it. It was almost like a little superstitious, but it kind of gave me that little extra confidence boost that I needed. Hey there, I'm Katherine Barker, and in this video, we're going to be talking about how to have a successful Meet the Teacher night. Some people may call this back to school night. There's lots of different names for it, but it's the idea is it's the beginning of the year, and it's a night when all the parents can come in and you kind of explain what your classroom looks like and what they can expect for the school year. Before I even jump into how to have a successful Meet the Teacher night, the first thing I want to say is breathe. Every year without fail, I would get so nervous before back to school night. I'd be stressing myself out and just be like, oh, what are they gonna think of me? And I'd kind of just, do I have everything ready? And so even though I'm an extrovert, I don't love speaking in front of large groups of people. So that's why I would get really nervous before my back to school night. But I just want you to remember, just take a deep breath and just remember that you got this. It's totally normal to be nervous. You're an amazing teacher, and those parents are so lucky to have you as their child's teacher this year. Okay, so I'm gonna jump into the 7 things that I recommend that you have for your Meet the Teacher night. The first thing I recommend is having sign-in sheets. It just basically has like their name, just say like parent name, and then you could say student name, like kind of 2 different columns. And they just sign in, and then from there you can look at your class roster list and kind of check off who came to Meet the Teacher night, and then you're able to kind of pull together like a packet to send home with kind of the crucial information that they need. And I would just kind of put it in the students' cubby so they could take it home and their parents could have access to everything that they missed. The second thing I recommend having is like a get to know your child more, like questionnaire form. So on this form, I would have it say like, obviously the child's name. We would, I would ask like, who do they live with at home? Are there any allergies that I need to know of? And then I would just say, you know, if you can share more with me about your child, and then I would kind of let them just kind of share kind of their child's personality or maybe any kind of fears or worries they had. And it was just a nice place for the parent to just kind of express and share more about their child. And I would kind of go through and read them. And it was just kind of like a helpful like introductory form for me to kind of look at. The third thing you're gonna need is like a slideshow. And your slideshow is going to include just kind of like give an overview of what the school year is going to look like. So you'll break down things like what the daily typical schedule looks like. Maybe if you have any like shortened days and the schedule would look different. So we would have that for them. I'd explain how we would do birthdays, what homework looked like, what they could expect for homework and what to be sent home. We would have like a Star of the Week poster and I would explain that. So you're just kind of explaining what it's going to look like, their child being in your classroom this year, what they can expect, what they can expect their child to learn, and just kind of giving them kind of like a rundown of what it looks like. I would also include any like behavior management systems as well, so parents knew and understood kind of what, if their child was referring to something, they knew what their child was talking about when they said, oh, you know, I got like I built the whole rainbow. The parent would know what I was talking about because I had explained it at Meet the Teacher night. And if you're kind of feeling overwhelmed and like unsure, like I don't know how to build this slideshow, I recommend talking to your grade level teachers, the other grade level teachers, and seeing if maybe they have a slideshow they can kind of share with you, and then you can kind of take it. And if it's like just PowerPoint, you can kind of take it and tweak it and change it to whatever you need, but you kind of have like a basic outline. If maybe you kind of do like your grade levels kind of all do like have like a similar schedule. The fourth thing I recommend is having a Meet the Teacher night packet. So I would, what you can do is, depending on how many slides you have, you can just kind of make your slides like printable. And just print them off, so then that way they can kind of follow along and like take it home and look at it later. It kind of depends on how big your slideshow is. Obviously, if you have a ton of slides, it might make it a little bit more difficult, but it's kind of nice to just have that visual for them and something to take home. I would also include like any forms that maybe your school requires that parents have, like any waiver forms, photography forms, PTA forms, anything like that, and then they can fill everything out. I also included in my Meet the Teacher night packet, I would have like pictures of my behavior management system. So like we did like cookies in the cookie jar, and I would have like a picture of it. So, and I would kind of show them in my classroom, this is what it looks like. This is what it means when we fill the whole cookie jar up. This is the treasure box, that they get when they build the rainbow. So that is, I would kind of have like pictures to like explain what the behavior management system looked like. You can also include like a welcome letter in your packet, explaining who you are, how you're so excited to get to know their child this year. And that can just really set a really nice tone for the school year, just kind of kick it off in that just kind of welcoming way. I actually have a free download of a welcome letter to families for your Meet the Teacher night. So just be sure to grab it in the description below. The fifth thing I recommend having is like a donation apple tree. So be sure that this is okay. Check with your administrator first, but if your school allows you to accept donations, you can do this donation apple tree hack. So I would just take some apple die cuts, and on my whiteboard at the front, I would draw like a little outline of a tree, and then I'd stick the apples all over the tree. And I would write on the apples before any like class items that we need. So maybe we needed like googly eyes, or we needed hand sanitizer, Play-Doh. So other things that I didn't typically get, my school didn't typically provide, I would write on the apple die cut note and stick it up on the tree. And then parents could pick, love the pun, whatever they were able to donate to the class. The sixth thing I recommend is having Hershey Kisses. And I know that kind of sounds like, what, Hershey's Kisses? But I would just get like a little bag of Hershey Kisses, and I would just kind of sprinkle them all over the tables. And it's just kind of a nice little welcoming thing. So the parents can just come in, sit down, and they can fill out their papers and enjoy a Hershey's Kiss. And it just makes it nice, because when you're doing your presentation, there's something about when people are just kind of snacking and eating that it kind of gives a more relaxed tone. So, and it's just a little nice touch to have. So that's something else that I recommend, is having some Hershey Kisses or some other more like maybe some sort of treat or candy spread out on the tables. And the seventh thing that I recommend is using my authority figure trick. So I had a mentor teacher when I first was teaching. She told me that some study said that I guess when you take a jacket and you put it over the back of your chair, it gives authority vibes. So people coming in and seeing that, it gives off like an authority vibe, and they view you like an authority figure. Whether this is true, I have no idea. I've tried kind of looking it up and I can't find anything, but I think this can actually be really beneficial. It would just kind of help calm my nerves, because I would feel like so stressed and worried, and I would just take my jacket and put it over my chair. It was like I had to do it. It was almost like a little superstitious, but it kind of gave me that little extra confidence boost that I needed. So I definitely recommend doing the authority figure jacket trick, just to give you that little extra oomph and that little extra confidence boost. Okay, let's do a quick recap. So the 7 things that you'll need for your Meet the Teacher night are: first, sign-in sheets. Then you'll want a getting to know your child better form. You'll want to have a slideshow. You'll also want to have like a Meet the Teacher night packet, maybe with pictures of your slideshow or any other information that the parents need. You're gonna wanna have also those forms, like any school forms or PTA forms that the parents need to sign. You'll wanna have a donation tree if your school allows it, some Hershey Kisses or some other treat for the parents to snack on, and a jacket to put on the back of your chair to give you that little extra confidence boost. And don't forget to download my welcome letter to families. It's just in the description below. Be sure to grab it and make your Meet the Teacher night that much easier. All right, that's it for now, my friend. I'll see you in the next one. And until then, happy teaching.